he was on guest on the show, and he said, "This is jazz." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Like you're literally sing everything." And he's like, "You're telling the directors in the control room, and this you're seeing the camera and the movements." He said, "This is like watching Miles Davis with the band." And I told him, I said, I believe it's 100%. I believe that playing cornet in elementary school, playing bass baritone horn in junior high school, and for half a semester in high school, my dad removed me from the band. He said, he ain't here for the halftime show, he here for education. Took me out of the band.
Wow.
I really do believe being around music absolutely trained all of the senses to do what I'm doing right now.
Sure, absolutely. You have to. I see all that's all happening. Yeah, you see it.
I just think that's why I think it is a damn shame that, because we had instruments, we can check them out.
Right.
We can rent them for the semester. I really do believe that one of the greatest mistakes that has been made in education in this country in the last 30 years has been the removal of music from K through 12. Absolutely,
because that's the prime time to learn, well, especially in elementary school. I started playing, I was young, but that's because Pops was playing in the house all the time, but I just picked it up. And when you're younger, there are no limits to what's happening. You pick it up and you start learning things. Like, I can do this. No one ever said you couldn't. So you're open to learning, you know. And those are important times. And it is unfortunate right now, because even with the kids I service in the Bay Area with the foundation that I have, you know, we're just constantly trying. The kids are asking, they're begging. We want instruments, you know. And the problem is not always just the instruments. There are rooms in the schools right now full of gear, no one to teach is the problem.
Wow.
There are no teachers, because a lot of the teachers, you only get a select few that want to go where we service our kids.
Right.
So you got 3 or 4 people and they come in there like, well, I can't do this. And so then you got 2 more, it's like they never last. It's hard, you know? So the kids, they want that. So it's just, we ended up right now, we're using a lot of the local musicians in Oakland who are working right now during this pandemic. And we use them as the teachers and give them some money to help assist in educating the kids knowledge about, you know, music, you know, the history of it, whether it be hip hop or choir, whatever it is, drumming, whatever they want to learn, DJing,
I mean, it's amazing to me when you think about, because how it drives me crazy when other people don't see this, how music is in every part of our lives, even when we don't realize it. I'm talking when you're walking through the mall, when you are
in the elevator,
when you're in stores, when
massage, spa.
There you go. I'm like everything.
Restaurants.
You're sitting here and you can be, even if you're watching a commercial, you don't realize what's playing. And then I love when somebody told me, "Oh, I can't believe you're listening to listen to classical music." I said, "Fool, do you realize every time your ass go to a movie, you're listening to classical music?" The guy was like, "No, I'm not." I said, "Go to the next movie. And when the music start playing, listen to what you're hearing. Let me know if you hear some violins." And this guy was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, that it's everywhere, but something that is everywhere and is so much a part of our lives, educationally, we diminish."
Absolutely, it's insane. I mean, it really is insane. It's like, this is supposed to be, like, this is food, it's water, it's everything, living, breathing thing that is a part of our lives every single day, whether you believe it or not. Like you say, TV shows, commercials, themes to TV shows, you're watching television, movies, spas.
The damn ice cream truck has a song to let you know I'm coming.
Exactly. And we are one of the businesses that do not get paid what they should get paid. It's a shame. We don't get what we're supposed to get.
Prince tweeted me back one time because I said, it was something somebody said. I said, oh, no, I don't stream music. I said, I buy music. And I think the tweet was like, I know that's right. And people were hitting them. They were like, dude, you know, Prince just tweeted you back. I was like, what you talking about? They're like, hit a screenshot. I was like, oh, really? And I was dead serious. The thing for me, and again, I guess part of this, when I went to communications high school, and our TV instructor, Mary Waits, made us watch a movie to the end of the credits. Mm-hmm. She said that's who made the movie.
Absolutely.
So we could not watch, we had to watch it until, to this day, I do not, when I go to the movie theater, I do not leave until all the credits are finished.
Same here.
And it's crazy when you talk to people and, well, I got to pay for this. I'm like, okay, there's a band like that person.
They don't
writers,
they don't understand.
crew, the people who set up the cameras, who set up the equipment and the cable. I'm like y'all, there's an entire infrastructure behind this. What, you think that it just happened and we should just get it for free?
So we're putting out money and no one's giving it back? It's crazy. It's insane. It really is. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, the streaming thing is, it's a half a cent of a half a cent that doesn't exist every time you stream. Like, how do we make money doing that? That doesn't make sense either, So we're making money that doesn't exist. And then you want to be okay with it. So we keep giving and we're spending money. It takes sometimes weeks, months, years to do a project. You're paying for all that. You're paying for the musicians, the studios. If you don't have, you're still putting out money, mastering, producers, songwriters, other artists that are coming, sitting in, all of that, mastering, and then paying
travel, food, gas, per diem.
All of that.
It's called a business.
It's a business. It's a business. And so all that money goes out, and then you want to pay me less than a half a cent every time you play my song. Hilarious.
I had Dionne Warwick on the show, and she was advocating for the bill in Congress for radio stations to pay. And I remember when that first bill came up because TV One was owned by Urban One Radio One. And Kathy Hughes, who was the founder of the company, had was going off against the bill, was highly critical. So Dionne Warwick says, yeah, that almost cost us our friendship. Because Dionne was like, as the singer, she said, I don't get paid for that. And she said, it's the publishing. She's like, okay, but I'm the one who was singing. So she was advocating for it. And it is just so interesting to me when we talk about artists. There's this whole notion of, I guess, we hear this actual artists who are sculptor, paint, when they go, ooh, the starving artist. I say, ain't nobody trying to starve.
No, we're not. We're trying to make a living. This is our life. It's our business. It really is. And it's just hard to do business when you don't want to. It's like saying, okay, I'm going to give you the keys to my car. And then you just take it and you go, well,
yeah, bring
are you gonna bring it back? No.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna bring it back.
So you take the song and you're not gonna pay me any money for the song. It's the same thing. You're stealing. It's stealing. It really is. And we don't get performance. The royalties. We don't get performance for performing. On those songs, and that was what we were advocating for. But all the people in Europe get that money, so you can get money from foreign. But you don't get it from United. I think it's only 2 or 3 countries that don't. It's us, Iran, and I don't know, Dubai, somewhere. There are 3 places that don't pay royalties on the performance, and we are one. Everyone else gets paid.
Wow.
Our system is crazy.
We were on a panel on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, on the Tom Joyner Cruise.
Yes.
And it was a question that was asked, and we were talking about the business of the business. And I remember you said that after Purple Rain tour, you said you owed money, and you were like, man, things I wish I had known.
Yeah.
When you think back to how are you walking folks through to say, let me holler at you, let me hip you to the business of this business. The creative side is wonderful. The art is wonderful. But do understand, if you don't understand the business of this business, you're going to have a serious problem.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's where we are now. It's just trying to fight for it. Right now, I say that it should be not the music business, the business of music. It should be the opposite, you know. The business should be taken care of first. So people ask me, you know, what do you do? I'm like, the business comes first. If you're going to walk into a room and say there's 2-3 musicians and you guys want to write, there's always a fight about who the percentage, what is it going to be? Well, there's 3 of us, but you wrote the bridge and you wrote the chorus. Well, I wrote 1 word. Well, isn't it equal? No, because you wrote 1 word. Well, it depends on what you all agree when you get into the room.
Right.
So even if you take a piece of paper or your phone and you say, we're all agreeing to this on this date, blah, 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 send it to each other, whatever, email it so it goes to, you know, because everyone's doing everything digitally.
And what you don't say is, well, man, let's just get to work, we'll figure it out later.
No.
No.
No, it's all good. We're all good.
No.
Because 100 times these people do this, 100% they come back and go, well, I'm suing you because I was in the room.
Right.
So you got to.
And we've seen those stories.
Oh, many.
And people go, hold up, how many people were in the room? You like, that's why you got to be careful. Everybody can't be in a room.
No, they can't.
Some folks just standing by the door.
Yeah.
No, you weren't contributing.
I said 1 word and y'all use my word, the. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm saying, no, those kind of things happen. So the same thing happens when people come up to me, especially years ago, and I stopped taking tapes and different things from people. They would hand me a tape and go, I want you to hear my song.
Nope.
Or here's a CD. I was like, can't touch it. Nope. I can't. Because then they turn around. I don't even know where the doggone thing is. But next thing you know, my attorney's calling someone suing you because you used what? They own 3 words? Are you kidding me? It just happened to be in the song the same. No,
right.
You know, so I don't take anything from anyone anymore. You know, you learn those little things like that.
Right.
People are always, and it's a shame that they're always trying to get something, like, you know, hang out and try to, let me see what I can get. Instead of just, you know, being a good musician, being a good artist, a good producer.
And putting the work in.
And putting the work in. What's wrong with work?
Right.
It's like I can't work. I got to get it how I can get it.
No, you got to put the work in.
Welcome you to the launch of the Mass Poor People's Low Wage Assembly and Moral March on Washington, D.C., June 18, 2022.
We are a new, unsettling force, and we are powerful. New, unsettling force, and we are here.
We're rising up to demonstrate the compelling power that we, poor and low-income people, have to reconstruct society from the bottom up.
And we need to do it with the loudest voices possible, the biggest actions possible.
Because we know that there is no scarcity in this land. The only scarcity is the moral will to do what's right.
Hold on, just a little while longer.
We are those with sub-minimum wage jobs who can't afford sky-high rent.
People with disabilities are the fastest growing minority group.
It's crazy to me that in 2021, it's still legal for workplaces to pay a sub-minimum wage to people with disabilities.
There are still so much trial and tribulations that we go through as Indigenous people. We can't get a decent wage to sustain ourselves, nor can we get adequate housing.
Veterans across this nation say enough is enough. We can't pat essential workers on the back on one day and then cut their health care the next day.
Health is a political choice.
What more do I need to do to prove that my voice is just as valuable as anyone else's?
There are still forces in denial that would try to slow walk our transition to a clean economy and a just future for us all.
We have an immoral system run by immoral people.
But together we walk, and we walk and we fight.
It's time for a change!
Reconstruyamos esta gran nación!
See, we are people of resilience. As we fight these interlocking injustices together,
when we work together, mobilize together, and rise together, We become a voice for the voiceless, and we become an agent of change in a time where great change is needed.
We need the third reconstruction to ensure that deaf people, people with disabilities, and all people can have the right to live and to thrive.
We know what they are doing, but the question is, what are we going to do? Reconstruction begins when we change our mentality and say it's time for you to get your foot off of my neck.
Justice is coming soon.
Do you believe that today?
I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and my new show, Get Wealthy, focuses on the things that your financial advisor and bank isn't telling you, but you absolutely need to know. So watch Get Wealthy on the Black Star Network.
When I listen to the horror stories, when I talk to people, and they talk about, stuff they've gone through, and also I'm very, and I'm so observant to this as well, because I've been in a lot of dressing rooms before show, after show, and like one of the things, and it's just sort of just how I think. It's just sort of like, so yesterday we're going through, and this is partly. Hearing my dad, my mama's voice, then it was partly being an owner.
Yeah.
We're going through the kitchen. I was like, why are there 7 unopened, unfinished water bottles? I said, there's 4 people here. And it's like, they're like, man, what are you bitching about? It's like, it's 7 how about you finish a bottle of water, throw it away.
All your crew are laughing right
and
now.
Open another one. But again, though, what people understand is when you are a CEO, you're like, why we are buying 3 cases of water when we could have bought 2? It's just one of those things that it is so, like, I am like that with gear. I'm like that because, again, when it's, the company got it. Oh,
right.
The label got it.
Exactly.
And it's like, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, I am like, it is so crazy that how I think that way, but that's the reality of an owner.
Absolutely.
How you see certain things, you like, no, that costs that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All that adds up for real. Oh, the company's got it. Oh, y'all got it. They're going to take care of it.
What was the story you said?
So that's what they said to me. I kept saying, what do you need? What do you need during the tour?
Because you said you were sending someone to go buy some fabric.
In Paris. Whatever. I lost my mind. Go get me some fabric because I need some clothes made. So they're just,
And they go, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Sheila sending me to Paris, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to go. They go and they come back with all this expensive
stuff. Plane,
hotel, per diem, food, even on top of the per diem, paying for everything, transportation, all of that stuff. And then all of the fabric and then coming back. And then I get all of these things made. And they kept saying, what else do you need? What do you want? We got you. We got you. We'll take care of it. Not a problem.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Not a problem. Don't worry about it. 3 of the most dangerous, don't worry about it's 4. The dangerous, those are the 2 of the most dangerous phrases. When somebody say, no, I got it. No.
No, it's bad. No, that was a big lesson because seriously, at the end of being out on tour for a year and a half, 98 something shows, or 98 shows plus, I was $990,000 in debt. You might as well say it's $1 million. $1 million in debt. After being on tour, working my butt off, I had to pay that back. actually ended up owing way less than that because they were double charging me because I said, this don't sound right. I know I didn't spend that much money.
Because you told, what did you say? You said
I had them audited.
You said that was an accountant.
Yep.
That Prince really liked, and he was jacking everybody, and you were like, no, go on back and check his math. And you like, Prince really liked him so much he didn't get rid of him, or something like that. You said on the cruise.
It was. I mean, you have people that you trust on tour, and you're knowing that they're going to do the right thing, you know. And it's just, everybody was shocked, you know, because I kept saying, I'm paying this bill and it keeps going up. It's not moving and it's going up.
Right.
And it doesn't make sense, and I can't be. And so my attorneys and we were talking. I said, let's audit. And they're like, what do you think Prince is going to say? I was like, I don't care. I'm not paying. I shouldn't be paying.
You're like, something ain't right.
It's not right. I don't care what. No. So I told him. I went up to him. I said, I think your boy is double charging me. And we had the same accountant. All of it was in house.
Right.
He's like, nah, he wouldn't do that. I said, mm-mm. He goes, nah. I said, okay. Well, I'm gonna audit him. He goes, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am. So my attorney came. We audited him. Sure enough, the whole thing blew up. He was taking money from Prince, millions and millions. And Prince felt bad. I mean, he was hurt. And at the same time, it was, you know, they didn't want to say who it was, and he didn't want him to go to jail. So he didn't. And that was very kind of him.
But you will give my money back.
But I'm not paying y'all this.
Right, I ain't paying y'all.
Yeah.
See, I am.
And that's the thing, don't be afraid for people. You can't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
You can't be afraid to stand up for what you think might be right. And if you're wrong, it's okay, but you can't later on go, I should have said something now, you know.
Yeah, no.
It has to be okay for you to stand up in who you are.
It was like I was reading Dane Cook. His half brother stole millions from him and was giving false statements and all kind of stuff. His half brother and his half brother's wife, they were just ripping him off. And I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I don't understand how that happened. And I said, because somebody asked me, they said, well, you know, when you own a company, you're trusting people. I said, oh, no, let me be real clear with you. I said, I remember reading a book, one of the books on Motown. And when Berry Gordy went to his family to ask them to fund the latest venture, like his sister was like, hell no. His ass, he ain't responsible. He ain't shit. No, because they had a whole family. How they would pool resources.
Yeah.
And then it's okay. We're gonna fund this here. And then she was like, oh hell no. She was like adamant. And then like, and the mom and daddy were like, okay, we're gonna give him a shot. She was like, hell no. He ain't done nothing with his life. He done skipped jobs. We ain't giving him nothing. And he said when he created Motown, hell, he put her in charge of the money. He was like, well, if she's that damn stingy, not giving me money, she gonna protect my money too. And she did. And so I told him, I said, so when I pull up the app right now, I got 6 accounts. My personal account, other 5. I don't even know what's in the personal account. My wife pay bills. That ain't what I do.
Yeah.
I know them other 5. Mm-hmm. And I'll open up and I'll be like, this is 1380, what is that? I don't recognize. I'll go through, they'll get a text message from me, and I'm like, why haven't I seen the P&L statement for the last 2 months? I need the P&L statement. No, don't send me that spreadsheet. I want the P&L statement. I want the detailed one. I don't want to see no categories. I want to see category number. I want to see what's under that category. They were like, Roland, I said, no.
But that's what you have to do. I mean, I remember, and part of that lesson is, you know, taking charge of your own. It's your responsibility to do that. Regardless of who's working with you, you still have to watch them. You still have to watch them.
Yeah.
And I remember
even family.
Yeah, oh yeah. And Oprah saying, you know, I sign every check. And I'm like, that's a good idea. So I do. Ever since I heard her say that, I sign every check. I look at it. I know what my account says.
Don't nobody approve invoices but me.
Nope, can't, nothing. There's no check.
I cussed out my niece. My dad, Sheila E, I'm not lying. My dad, she's the first niece and nephew. So you know how grandparents are. So my dad called me. He was like, son, can you not cuss? I said, no, hell no. I said, Dad, I said, first of all, Daddy, this is business. This ain't family. I said, she called somebody into the office to come work on a computer who I now have to pay. All her ass had to do was call the 800 number, they would have walked her through. I said, so, yeah, I cussed out. I said, look, this daddy, this business. He was like, okay, son. But I was like, no. I said, I need you to understand. And then I was kind of like, look, this impacts your retirement. So I had to put it in the way for him to quite understand. I was like,
he understood that.
Right, impact your retirement. Let's be real clear. I can't pay for some stuff for you. See where that money went? So I had to go ahead. I had to go ahead and do that. But I really do. I really do love talk when I'm talking to people who understand when you're trying to build something.
Yeah.
Too many folks are so focused on the creative without understanding that, that's actually what allows you to continue to be creative. Because otherwise, now you're stressed. Now you're in a hole. Now you're trying to sit here. You can't afford this, and so now you have to do something that's actually outside of what your gifting is. Because you were not sitting here.
If you take care of the business first, then it's easier to record or create or whatever you're going to do. Business is set like it's done. I can do whatever. You're not thinking about it. You start creating like, how are we going to work this out? I've been in that position many times. Oh shoot. Okay, we got to figure this out because we've already done it. Now what do I do?
Now you're stressed. Now your focus is completely off. You're absolutely right. For me, I am, because it's sort of like when I had a friend of mine, he told me, he said, Roland, deficit financing. I said, dude, I ain't dealing with that. And I said, look, I get your point. I get how companies use debt. And he's like, well, it's about leveraging. I said, I ain't trying to deal with no debt. I said, I want to be able to wake up and go, that's paid for. I said, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I said, I want to have my mind completely, I am not trying to take a portion of my brain to go, how are we managing debt?
Right. Sure.
And he's like, okay, I get it. Because I said, dude, I said, I'm sorry. I said, I know what I need. I said, when I go to sleep and when I wake up, how my brain works. And now, I said, because I have complete freedom to think. I said, nothing is getting in the way. I'm not sitting here. I'm not worrying about the mortgage. I'm not worrying about the car note. I'm like, because everything's paid for. So now I am freed up.
Absolutely.
I can just walk through life every day. And now it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to do this here.
Right.
I'm going to do this here. And actually, I gave a speech when I said, debt is slavery without shackles, because it impacts your other decisions.
Oh, absolutely.
It impacts where you go, what you do, your freedom, and you know what? I'm gonna experiment on this. I said it all impacts that.
Well, they definitely promote that if you're in debt, you get more. So you gotta build your credit by being in debt. So that I'm telling you.
Oh, I know. I was like, hold up. I paid everything off. How the hell my credit score is? Oh, but you need to do a credit line. I said, no, hell no, we ain't doing it.
Because you don't owe anything, your credit's bad.
Which is the dumbest thing in the world. Of all the people who should have great credit is somebody who don't owe anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
These are the only bins that will accommodate larger rollerboards.
They put 10 in here?
10, and you don't come out till you die. And you eat him, you hoop him.
Oh my God.
So what?
You know, I did an entire 1 hour show on credit. My producer said, Roland, that's not an hour on credit. I said, dude, I'm trying to tell you. I said, I'm trying to tell you. I said, somebody who filed for bankruptcy, this whole system, what did they do? He was like, shit, he said, that's actually, we could do 4 shows. I said, I tried to tell you that. I said, because he didn't understand the nuance of it. And I was like, I said, dude, trust me. I said, you the EP, you know the hell I'm talking about. I said, I see it. I see it's a real thing. It's amazing we have these conversations. What is your musical process? I love talking to artists and athletes in your process. Walk me through when you are conceiving music, when you are thinking of a show. How do you do it? John Legend says when he writes, he lets you do like a professional. He goes in, he sits down, sit them for hours, like an 8 to 5 sort of thing. Will Downing was like, yo, I was making love to this woman, it was amazing. He said, something hit me, I got up, and I wrote this song. And I talked, so different people, so what is your process?
It's always different. It's never the same. It's never the same, which I think is good, because I can be driving in the car and think of an idea, and the crazy thing, so because I'm a drummer, percussionist, if I turn the blinker on, I'm playing beats in my head. I was like, oh wait, I got something. Oh wait, hold on.
So then what do you do? So then
you take your phone and you use the record thing right there and just put down the ideas. You just keep putting ideas down.
Right.
Lyrically, if now I can speak into my phone and put the idea, everything's in my notes. But yeah, before I used to take a tape recorder and I'd have it next to my bed and pencil and paper, because sometimes I'd wake up with just an idea, and sometimes you can't go to sleep if you don't write it down.
Oh.
And then, so you have those moments, but it's always different. Like if I'm writing a song or thinking of an idea, like what direction I want to write, I sometimes listen to other artists that would influence me, like to see how they're doing it and how would I do it differently, or incorporate what I've already learned and make it a little bit different. But it's not always me always thinking about drums. I come up with melody, I'll come up with a line or a story that I hear someone saying. I was like, oh, I'm gonna flip that story. That's a song right there. And everyone's so used to hearing me say it, someone's doing something, there's a song, there's a song, there's a song right there. Constantly, sound check. My guy's up front of the house, he's always pressing record. We record every sound check because those songs happen. And when we do it like
all
that,
spontaneous.
Everybody gets paid because we're all in it together. So whoever's on stage, and even if you didn't do anything, you're on the stage, that's my agreement with everyone. If we're coming in to write, and again, that's just my agreement.
Right.
It doesn't matter if there's 5 of us, we're all gonna get paid. We're all a part of coming up with the ideas. I love collaborating, so a lot of the times it might not even be, I might not even start the idea. It might be someone else bringing an idea to me. I co-wrote a song with Joss Stone one time, and she's incredible. And it was for my family's record, the E family, and she sang a melody on the phone and sent it to me. And then we wrote the song. When she came in, she heard the song for the first time. She didn't even know. She had never heard it, and then she came and she's like, oh, I love this, just from the melody that she wrote. And then she sang all the background vocals and sang the lead, and it was done. I mean, there's so many different ways to write now, so my process is always different. It's always different.
So have you, because I know I've done this, have you been in mid-conversation? Have you been at a dinner party and all of a sudden you will just check out and folks like, what you doing? Where you go? Because your mind is just, something happens and people, I tell people, you have to have you have to create space for creative people, because if you try to box creative people in, you're going to be severely disappointed at all times, because creative people simply think and operate differently.
Well, it's constant. It's continually happening. Like my cousin, who's been working with me, she's my assistant. She's been with me since she was 18 and she's 52 now. She's still here, but I mean, there's times when I'm like, oh, here's a song right here, here's an idea or whatever, just constant. And sometimes she's like, oh shoot, here we go.
Right.
Remind me of the,
right.
She text me with it's just never ending. She goes,
you hear that, Henry? You hear that, Henry? Like we'll be sitting here, I'll pop up to the control room and I'll be like, yo, so when we go to LA,
Oh, that's me all day.
I'm like, so we go to LA. So I'm thinking about doing this here. So we have this, and this, and going here. And then, okay, I walk out. Then I come back and be like, dude, what the hell? I'm like, what did you think I was doing yesterday?
No.
It happens.
Just now, while I was waiting to do the interview, we're in the backyard sitting out there because I've had 3 hours sleep. I'm in pain in my back, and I'm going, okay, Ia, hold on, we got to do this. I'm giving her a list of stuff while we're sitting outside, and then tomorrow what we got to do, and then we got to bring this. It's just nonstop. It's just like this. She goes, okay,
right,
you know, because it's just I'm thinking of things right now. This is my rest time, but I'm thinking of things that need to happen because if I don't tell somebody,
you're doing it right then,
I'm gonna forget.
And you forget, and then now you're mad. The thing when you mention the sleep part, I can't even tell you how many times I'm tossing. My wife like, you okay? I'm like, don't, because my brain is firing.
Yeah.
And most of I was like, look, this is bullshit. I'm not just get the hell up and go downstairs. And it might be the next 4 hours, 5, 9, 7 a.m. Okay, I sleep till 1. My show's at 6. Because and I don't think people don't get it. They don't get when it's firing. You don't try to turn it off.
No, you got to go with it because you never know when it's going to stop. And there was a time when mine did. I couldn't write a lyric. I'm like, I don't feel it. I don't understand. It's just not in me. I don't know what to do. It just left. It just left, and it's just weird. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I never not want to stop, but I felt like I needed to do something else for a minute.
Okay, I can identify with that. I had a syndicated column for 10 years. And probably I was fine the first 7. The last 3 years, it was basically I wasn't moved to write the column.
Yeah.
Because
things change, and so we are and what's happening in your world, things are changing. So you want to change. So it's like, okay, we got to flip this. It's got to be different.
Because when I added the TV show, because I was already talking it,
right,
and it just didn't do. And I was kind of like, okay. And they were like, okay, well, when is it coming in? And because it was a weekly column, and they're just thinking, look, it's 700 words a week, but it wasn't. It was just. It bored me.
You have to be inspired, and you can't be bored. Me. I'll never say the word. I'm never bored. I'm never bored. It's just all of a sudden it's just like. I don't want to think about trying to write. It should just come like I want it to just like where's that? Like I would wake up dreaming of the song that just happened, but the whole video, I see the whole thing is done. Yep. The whole thing is done. I was like, where are those moments? And now you just go, I want those back. So they happen periodically, but when they leave, it's you need to check out because the thing about us as entertainers, we're doing this, we're giving. Yes. And we have to learn a balance. And if we don't, like there's many times I've just crashed and burned and I've had to learn to okay, let me just adjust this. That's just life, but.
I call it, you have to create think time. Mm-hmm. And actually, you know what did it for me? I was reading the Bible. When Jesus left his disciples, it was like, look, I'm over here. It was think time. It was literally, I need to get away from y'all. And it's the same thing. My wife will say to me, not now, I've been playing golf like crazy. But there have been many times she said, when last time you played golf? She's like, you need to go play golf.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you're seeing working, and needing that. And that's like when I lived in DC, when I first moved to DC, I lived right up Little Foxhall in South DC. I hated it because I had no decompression time. Mm-hmm. Because I lived in the city, and so when I got home, I never felt like I was decompressed. Yeah. So when I moved out to Northern Virginia, I'm literally 45, 48 minutes away. From Houston, that's no big deal. Mm-hmm. Hell, that's down the street. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's going to the mall. And what I love about it is I could spend the first 25, 30 minutes dealing with phone calls. Mm-hmm. People call, knock them out, okay, this. And that final 20 minutes, I could put music on. Mm-hmm. And now it's my think time. Mm-hmm. Now it's because for me, it's like reporting. whenever I was on deadline, I would always put music on. And they would always go, why are you putting music on? I said, because reporting is rhythm. I said, great writing is rhythm. You read a book and it's flowing. I said, that's rhythm. I said, writing has a rhythm to it. I said, so that's why I would listen to music to write, to put me in the rhythm.
Sure.
I said, so if I'm writing something and I read it back and it sounds it's just disjointed. I said, it's just, I said it needs to flow. I said, it needs to be, how you move, how you dance.
Yeah, it's like writing a song.
And when I'm writing a column or I'm writing a story, this is literally me writing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so you sit, and so you just like flowing, then it's flowing.
That's flowing, absolutely.
Then it's flowing. Then boom, you at the end, and then you go back and read it, and that's how you.
Yeah.
I read this. They're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to tell y'all."
Yeah.
I said, "Writing is rhythm."
It is.
It's the same thing.
It is. That's dope.
And speaking the same way.
Yeah.
Like I visualize all my speeches. I don't write speeches.
Wow.
You just tell me how much. If they say, "Roland, you got 30 minutes," that's fine. If they say you got 15 minutes, that's fine. They'll come back to me. I remember I was on CNN, Lou Dobb. They came back and they said, okay, we got a minute coming back from break. I said, cool. They came back and said, oh, sorry, we got 45 seconds. And they came back and they said, no, you got 25 seconds. I said, I'm good. I said, I'm good. I said, all I need is 18.
I love it.
He went, what? I said, I just need 18. And we came back, hit it, and we get into the elevator. He was like, 18 seconds. I said, no, his EP went, no, we timed in the control room. He spoke for 18 seconds. I said, oh, so you thought I was joking? So that's why, again, that time thing, it's just like, oh no, just too much time I got.
Yeah.
And I just, so he just does it. And I'm telling you, I don't know how it happened. I don't. It's just, when you talk about gifting, it's just certain things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't. I'll literally sit there and I haven't even decided where I'm going. It'll just be like, that's it? You want me to do 30? I got it. And I'll be sitting there. I don't write anything down. I don't even write the name of the title.
That's
I will
crazy.
walk up to that microphone and I'll say, old school church, I will tag my text. So I will name my speech and then we just go.
Wow.
We just go.
That's awesome. That's a gift.
Pull up a chair, take your seat. The Black Tape with me, Dr. Greg Carr, here on the Black Star Network. Every week, we'll take a deeper dive into the world we're living in. Join the conversation only on the Black Star Network.
Because what you're describing is really visualization.
Yeah.
Everything is, because what you're describing, when it comes in your head, when you talk about the turn signal, whatever, that's still visualizing it, and you're seeing, we mentioned in the video, same thing.
Yeah.
And because I used to practice as a kid, I would lay on the floor or the bed or whatever, and I would toss the ball in the air, and I would come up with a problem, go through the process to reach this conclusion, the solution. So when it actually happened in real life, I've already processed.
Wow.
So my answer to the problem, I can hit it immediately because I've already processed how to get there.
Wow.
So I'm not in real time trying to figure it out. I've already done it.
That's awesome.
And I still do it.
Wow, that is awesome.
Now I'm telling you, that is because, I guarantee you that it's because of music. I guarantee you that was the basis of it. Because you have to, when you read music, you have to sit here. When I was in the band, in a lot of black high schools, they were like, when I freshman, got my instrument, I'm sitting there, give my folder, I'm sitting there. The guy was like, "Man, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm reading music." They were like, "No, man, we play." I said, "No, I read music before I play. I'm going through this entire music and reading everything. I said, that's how I was trained.
Right, right.
I said, because you better know what the hell you playing first. And it was the craziest thing. They thought I was like nuts. I said, no. I said, no,
That's
I got
dope.
to visualize that whole deal.
Yeah, that's dope.
Got to visualize it. What still brings you joy in what you do?
What still? Like, that's a loaded question. I mean, because there's so many elements that still brings me joy.
But in it, but what? What? Like sometimes for me, it'll be if I'm shooting how I shot a certain look. It just be, and I'll just be, people like, what? I'm like, I really like how I shot that. And it's just one of them things.
Yeah, no, I got you. I mean, for me, I always tell everyone there's only one job that I have. I've never worked a day in my life, ever. Well, I take that back. It was one day for a friend. Even though I didn't get paid, I'd said I'd helped him to help sell clothes in his clothing store for one day during Christmas. And that was the only, I didn't even know how to work cash register. But the only job that I have, and I've had since I realized that this would be my job, would be to bless one person every single day. And that's the only job I've ever had. So in that brings me joy. So when whatever I'm doing, if I can absolutely touch one person's life every single day, then I know I've done my job. That brings me joy. And if I hadn't done it, like the end of the days comes, like I keep thinking, well, what did I do today? Did I do the right thing? Did I do, it's just, that brings me joy. Or doing something that makes me feel good that I did something, and that's what's hard, even in the days when you don't feel great, even more so a time to bless somebody.
I love asking this question because the experience is amazing. How would you define, or how does it feel when you get that black love? When people, can be anywhere, when they see you and just what they say and how they, security guard, a barber, does not matter, just what that, because I don't think people really, those who don't experience it really don't know how amazing it is.
It is. It is everything, because it's everything that I put into when I perform, from my head to my toe, to every single organ in my body. It's everything. And it's to the point where I can't give anymore. And that then, because I don't think about it, I just do it. That's what I feel.
You empty your vessel.
Completely. And then this happens. And then when I realize, after not knowing, all of a sudden you just go, wait, what just happened? And then it comes back, and then you're just like, it's that. It is overwhelming emotionally. Like, it gets me every single time, every time. And even more so now that I'm older, because you just kind of it's crazy that I'm still playing the way that I do at the age that I am, and I'm thinking that
you be going
20.
You be like, I be like,
you were there.
She ain't slowing down. You just
No, I'm.
You go to another thing.
Oh yeah, no. But see, that's the thing though. I love what I do, and when that happens, it's like to give in that way unconditionally. It's not for me. I'm giving it to you. This is what this was given to me to give, to serve. So when I give that, like you say, you empty, man, what comes back, and you just, then that makes me do even more. And I'm like, I'm still pushing. I'm out of breath. I can't. What? It doesn't even matter. You're seeing me going, all right, right now, y'all, I can't breathe, but it's okay, All right, it's all right. Hold on, just give me 2 seconds.
I mean, I had a woman stop and she said, you took all these pictures, you're speaking to people, whatever. And I told her, I said, I come into famous people every day. I said, just a byproduct of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but there are people, you go places in this, I said, they don't meet folk like me every day.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and that photo means something.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking to them means something.
Mm-hmm.
Walking over and playing with a child means something. And I said, that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and then when you give that, I mean, you are bringing joy.
Yeah.
And I said, because they cannot buy tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I said, when I walk into a room and 500 tickets have been sold and y'all tell me we have to add extra tables, I said, it's showtime.
Right.
I said, it's go time.
Yeah.
And it's under, I had this one woman, I was speaking somewhere in Virginia, and she came and she says, oh, I'm so excited. She says, because they had me singing this song after you. I said, you don't want to do that. I did. I was like, I said, you don't want to do that. I said,
Yeah.
you need to sing that song before I speak. She's like, no, we're fine. I said, no. You need to do that song before I speak.
Yeah.
I said, I ain't trying to be arrogant and cocky about it. I said, but I'm letting you know. When I get done with this speech, this room gonna empty out.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so you don't want to sing to an empty room. I said, because you don't want to follow me with that song.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and so she was like, okay. So when I got finished done, she like, oh, I'm so glad I listened to you, shit, because man, you, but because I said, you have to understand,
Yeah.
I know what I'm about to do when I hit that podium.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you don't want to come behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and that, because that's giving.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Which is a preacher once told me, he said, the most vulnerable point of being a preacher is after the sermon.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of preachers have their armor bearers who are there with them, who's coming up to them.
Right.
Because he said, because they have emptied themselves, and it is actually the most vulnerable
part. Absolutely. Time.
For somebody to
absolutely get in
and experience anything happen when concerts are over.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of artists who they take a lot of time after the concert to greet people because they have to, and it's just a different thing.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard because you just gave everything, and then you've got to keep
Right.
giving another.
You're still on.
You're still on, and you're like, sometimes I just can't do
Right.
it. And now with the pandemic, it's like we're not trying to do meet and greet right now anyway.
Right.
But it's challenging because then when you say, I'm sorry, I can't. What I ended up doing when we sell merch and people are standing in line buying and you feel bad, you see this long line, you're like, I got to leave and I'm not going to be able to sign because I said I'm going to sign everybody.
Right.
So what I end up doing, instead of waiting for them to come to the table because they want to tell their story and do that, it starts to get long and then, well, can we take a picture? And then the picture taking gets even longer. Then people are like, I don't know if I want to buy this, and this is taking a long time. And those fans do stay. So I've made it a point now to not really, if I'm going to do pictures, it'll be a separate line just for pictures.
Right.
But if I'm going to sign the merch and stuff like that, instead of coming to the table, I go down the line. I can go down faster.
There you go. Yeah.
I go down the line, and that's faster, and everyone gets it signed before. By the time that saves 30, 40 minutes.
Oh, like I do selfies.
Yeah.
2 lines, here. And it's like, do this one, you step in. Now I'm literally, give me the phone. Click.
Exactly.
Click.
Oh my
click,
God. Some
click,
people are like, wait,
click.
I'm so sorry.
No. We don't even, there ain't no phone I haven't used. I've actually changed folks' setting. I'm like, hell no, we're taking your time off. I'm like, I'm not waiting this damn 10 seconds.
We try to use the photographer there and they can get their picture.
No.
The selfie thing.
They want, no. I have snatched, Sheila, I have snatched phones. Like, give me this here. And I'm like, click, we done, because I can do a selfie in 3 seconds.
Yeah. No.
I did 200 selfies in 30 minutes at Essence in the TV One booth. And they were like, well, I said, no, not one line, 2.
Yeah.
I said, we're going to be in and out. We're going to be in and out. We're going to get them in and out. I said, we ain't here all day. We said, we got to go.
Yeah, that's
true. Got the roll.
And you still made everybody happy, see?
Oh, yeah, everybody got their photo.
Yeah.
I said, we ain't going to be here in an hour.
Yeah.
And the only problem is when women go, no, take it long way so I can, see, now you can't do a selfie. No, I want to get the whole outfit. I'm like, hey, look.
No,
I was at the AKA convention. They all wanted, I said, Baby, do you see this line? Is 90 of your sorrows in line? I don't care. I'm like, hey, I am not taking long way photos, okay? I'm like, we ain't doing it. I said, it's gonna take too long. It's selfies. Give me the phone. Just hand it. Oh no, we ain't doing it.
I believe it. I believe it.
I was like, we ain't trying to do that. Try to do that.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared. You dig? I talked to Damaris Lewis, and she talked, and I asked her, I told her, I said, out of all the folks, celebrities who passed away, I said, I was most affected by Prince. And I told her, I said, I'm not sure if it's because met him a couple times, knew how he felt about my work. But I said it really was, I think, the music was differently and deeper in a way. What do you think? What was it about him that hit differently, that spoke to folk differently than a lot of other artists?
I think, he brought his own sound. So when you have an artist that creates his own sound, like Earth, Wind & Fire, Stevie, they come in, the Beatles, they create their own sound, and there wasn't, he kept reinventing himself. He wasn't afraid to change instrumentations or not use drums or not use bass or use the Lynn machine or use real drums or use, pots and pans. It didn't matter. It's just like he wasn't afraid to, the sound was different every time he did an album, completely different, And the things that he wrote about, it was things that he felt he needed to speak about. So a lot of honesty, whether he would admit to it or not, there was a lot of honesty and a lot of things that were real to him. And when he gave, I think for me, he is my number one favorite guitar player in the world. He was.
Oh, he killed that thing.
He played with, and especially, I loved times me playing drums with him, he and I playing together. When I played drums, it was a whole nother thing. And I just think that he reached people in a way as an artist that he reached you because he was, again, honest in a way that he said it a million times, but he wasn't trying to write the next Purple Rain. That was already what it was.
Right.
So let me move on to something else.
Right.
I'm not gonna, I can write those, I can write that. That was that one time thing,
Right.
but it's never gonna happen again. So why would I write that again? Then it's not special anymore.
Before he passed, this is about 5 or 6 years before he passed, I went through this crazy Prince phase. I bought a bunch of his stuff. And I was listening to stuff that people didn't like. Chaos and Disorder or whatever.
Oh, Chaos and
I was going through all these albums and I was like, do y'all know what y'all are missing? Because it wasn't the airplay. It wasn't, okay, it wasn't the pop. And I was like, I was like, no, y'all need to understand.
Yeah.
I'm like, this song and this song and this song. And people go like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, man, I ain't buy that. I said, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
I said, and
There
I was just going
so
through
much.
Crystal Ball and Emancipation. I was
Yeah.
like, no. I said, I'm
Those
telling.
songs,
It was
oh my God.
it was so. George Lopez said, he said, Roland, I hate. He said, I know how you feel about music. He said, I hate that you and Prince never got to. He said, I hate that y'all never got to talk about music. He said, because I know, because he saw me describing all these different
Right.
songs, and I said again, being in the band, I said, there was brilliance in there, but for the public, oh, that wasn't a hit. I'm like, no, that was banging.
Yeah. No, he wasn't, and that's the thing, he wasn't writing for radio. He was just writing. You know, he constantly writing, always writing. And I think that's why he reached people, because it was always different. He was always telling a story about something you can act, and again, in a way that you can actually visualize what he was talking about, you know.
The most important thing you learned from him?
I don't know, because we shared so much equally.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of one thing, because it was a lifetime of memories, good and bad. So, you know, from 1977 to 78 until, you know, close to passing. So that's, I mean, there's so much.
The most important thing you give to your people?
What's the most important thing I give to my people?
What do you want your team to say, this is what Sheila E taught me. This is what she gave me. This is how she touched me.
Probably just being true to who you are. Don't be someone else. You can be influenced by other people. That makes you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but just be honest. Because if you're transparent and you're honest in telling the truth of who you are, your life is much better. And when you don't, and you try to become that someone else, and then you're hiding things, and it gets weird,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just chaos happening all the time, you know.
Last question. One of my favorites. I ask singers and comedians this. Who have you, solo, group, when y'all perform, and it was like, oh, it's gonna be on tonight. We're gonna bring that heat to your behind. Where it could be, again, someone you're on the same bill, but it wasn't that it was a fight, but they brought out the best in you in terms of, oh man, they put a show on. We got to go to another level.
I say that every time we hit the stage, so it don't matter. And if there's
I'm saying, but has there been ever, I'm talking about when where there's another group, there's another artist, where they bring it, and you like, all right, we got something for you, where you had that competitive.
Because I'm just going to be me. I'm still going to bring 150%, so sometimes I have to say, if you're going to follow me, I'm sorry.
Okay, here's the second part of that question then.
Okay.
I was asking a question before verses, but if there's somebody you would love, you on stage, they on stage. Microphone, let's go. Who? Male, female, don't matter.
I can't think of anyone.
It's gotta be one, like, I would love to be, in terms of we're on stage together. Like Johnny Gill said, I would love me and Uncle Charlie. He said, me on one stage, Uncle Charlie on the other. He said.
But see, this is what's so interesting, because singer against singer, or to be on stage, not against, but to, you know,
Right.
singer, drummer. So tell me where there's another Sheila E. Timbali.
No. It's not another Sheila E. It's anybody. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. It could be band. It could be group. It could be Sheila E. in my band. OJ's, y'all bring y'all's. Let's go. Let's go hit. Let's turn this thing out for the audience. Just so that someone who you know and respect, like, yeah, that they would take, they would bring something out in me, and I would bring something out in them that would be, and the night would be electric for the audience.
Well, we did a couple of shows with Earth, Wind, and Fire, and we had a blast. But it's just like we're all family, so
right.
I mean,
right. But even if it's family, but it's not competition, but it's
no. I understand.
You greatly
what you're
respect them, but it's like, yo, you played that, hit it. And then they come back, oh.
I seriously can't think of nobody.
Really?
Nope. I mean, you could put whomever, I'll still go. But I can't sit here and say, man, they're going to bring, I have no idea because as much as I give, I don't know anyone who's going to help me give more than what I already do. That's my point.
I want to see you and Uncle Charlie.
We've done shows together.
I want y'all on the stage together. Like, line down the middle. My songs, your songs. Come on, let's go.
Oh, I love Uncle Charlie, though. That's Uncle Charlie.
You know. Well, cool. Always good to see you.
You too.
Still having fun?
Always.
Looking good.
Thank you.
Pinky.
Thank you.
Thanks for chatting.
Pink. All right, Pink, you got on your pink today.
You know how I do it.